We're going live, guys. We're going streaming live here. I'll get it here in a second.
Oh, okay, that's something else. That's separate. Yeah.
All right, we are live on YouTube, Mr. Mayor.
Ready?
And I don't, hold on, let me see if Bruce is trying to come back in.
Okay.
I don't, he's not. Hold on a second. Yeah, he's not on right now, so I don't know what you want to do. If you want to, let me see. Let me call him in real quick and see what he's.
Okay.
Hello. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll see you shortly. Okay. Bye. He's going to come here.
Okay.
Yeah. So if Mr. Mayor, if you want to go ahead and call it to order, then we'll go from there.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So if everybody's ready, I'll go ahead and call us to order and we'll get started on our meeting for tonight. Thank you everybody for signing on. Join me for our invocation, please. Father, once again, we're just thankful for this day. We're thank you for the many blessings of life. We thank you for the blessings that we continue to have in this town and this community, even though sometimes it's in the situations that we're in and the country is in, it's hard to find blessings, but we know that we have many to be thankful for. And Father, we just thank you for each day of life. And we just ask your blessings upon this meeting here tonight, and all decisions will be made with your guidance and wisdom. Forgive us our sins in Christ's name. Amen.
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 All righty. Approval of our minutes from our regular meeting on January the 5th. Any changes, corrections from council?
Done noted. I move we accept as submitted.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. Tara, you want to do the roll call?
Councilmember Pittard,
Yay.
Councilmember Height,
Yay.
Councilmember Mulcahy.
Yay.
What did she say?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
and Bruce is on his way here, so we'll just say he was technical difficulties.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Next item is the minutes from our joint meeting. Any changes or corrections to those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. A motion and a second. All right, Tara, back to you.
All right. Councilmember Pittard,
Yes.
Councilmember Height,
Yes.
Councilmember Mulcahy,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Moving on, list of vendors paid. Any questions, comments from council?
Motion
If none, do I have a motion to approve?
I think Chris just did, didn't he?
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor. All right, Tara, back to you.
Councilmember Pittard,
Yes.
Councilmember Height, Councilmember Height. I don't know, I can't tell.
I think we lost Carolyn. I think we lost her.
But here comes Bruce.
Right there. How's everybody?
All right, how are you?
Very well.
Bruce, they they're in vendor payments.
Okay.
They've got a motion and a second. Unfortunately, Carolyn has dropped off, which put us below a quorum. So they need a vote from you to finalize it.
Yeah, I did. Councilmember Warner,
Yes, in favor.
Councilmember Mokai,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Is Chris gone too?
Oh, no,
Councilmember Clark,
Chris.
Sorry, had a Wi-Fi issue.
No, that's okay. They're voting on vendor payments.
Aye.
Aye.
Is that 4?
yes.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. Approval of financials. Any questions, comments from council?
I'll make the motion that we accept them as they are presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All right, Tara, back to you.
Seconded, Chris.
Chris, yeah.
Councilmember Pittard,
Yes.
Councilmember Warner,
Yes,
Councilmember Mokai,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Okay, I don't guess Carolyn is back on. Councilmember Height? No, she's not back, okay.
Yeah, she hasn't stepped back in either. You know, she hasn't come back.
mine's just going in and out. I'm upstairs, got the little thing and put it right behind my computer and it still wouldn't.
Oh, man, that's.
I'm far enough away, I don't have to wear this, am I correct?
We don't have the emergency ordinance tonight. Please forgive me on that, but we're to public input now, Kevin. If we did the financials, right?
We did financials. Are we going to do the appointments, or you want to
Wait,
wait until Carolyn gets back in, or?
You should.
I tell you what, let's just go ahead with public input. 'Cause
Okay.
there's nobody here. And, but go ahead.
All right, we'll move on to public comment. We'll open the floor. Jeff, you said there's no one there for public comment?
No, sir.
Okay. No letters or anything received regarding that, I guess?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. All right, we'll close. We'll move on to Richard. How about that?
And, I'm okay now if you want to do the other stuff. I just got a little out
Okay.
of sequence with the PowerPoint, but so
That's fine. I didn't know if you were waiting on Carolyn to get back in for that. Okay. We'll move on. We'll move back to that.
Okay.
We have a couple of appointments tonight. Of course, Mike has stepped down, so we need to replace his seat, his open council seat. And then we need to, of course, Mike was vice mayor for quite some time, so we need a replacement of that. Jeff, you want to talk a little bit about procedure regarding replacement of the council seat?
yes, sir. Of course, you know, with Mike resigning and relocating, that offered an opening on the council. Of course, town council is authorized to appoint a temporary replacement until the next local general election, which would be in May of 2022. Of course, Mike was on the first year of a 4-year term. So this temporary appointment will be until May of 2000. Well, be until the election of 2022, and it'll serve until June 30th of 2022. And if they elect to run, then they would have to, you know, run for the remaining 2-year term for Mike in the 2000. You know, that would take him to the end of the term in June 30th of 2024. I sent you guys an email on a resolution that we would need to approve to request that special election for May of 2022 that the attorney put together for us. We will also need to approve that resolution tonight so we can submit that to the circuit court. We want to thank Mike for his service to the town and the community, and wish him and his family the best as they move on in the next chapter of their life. What we could do first, Mr. Mayor, is if you guys would be willing to approve the resolution requesting the special election, then we'll move on to the other items.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Is there a motion to approve that resolution?
Make a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Tara, back to you.
Councilmember Pittard,
Yes.
Councilmember Warner,
Yes,
Councilmember Mokai,
Yes. Yes. I don't know why. Can you hear me?
Come back, Tammy. Try that again, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Carolyn, are you back? Still don't see her.
Okay, well, let's move on to the appointment for the vacant council seat.
Well,
Yes.
Let's do the vice mayor next, if you would.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll move on. Okay. Of course, Mike was our vice mayor for quite some time. Of course, just to reiterate, typically vice mayor serves when the mayor cannot be present at the meetings or at functions. And council basically appoints a vice mayor and votes on that. So it will be up to council for that appointment. I know Bruce has expressed some interest to me in being willing to serve in that capacity, but that's at council's pleasure who you want to nominate and decide on with that regard. So I can turn that over to council for you all to discuss.
I make a motion for Bruce to be the vice mayor.
I second that.
Okay, back to you, Tara.
Sure, thank you very much.
Okay, well, no, so will he still votes, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Councilmember Pittard,
Yes.
Councilmember Warner,
Yes.
Councilmember Mulcahy,
Yes.
and Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. All right. We will move on to the open council seat. Of course, council, same process. Council is able to nominate.
Got Carolyn here. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, Carolyn. Yeah, you're the only one out right now. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't taper that way. Yeah. Yeah, try it again, Carolyn. We'll wait for you here. We're getting ready to. That's no problem. That's Oh, you might want to reboot your machine. Just, close it and reboot it. Start it back up again. Carolyn, I'm gonna put you on my speakerphone and let you hang tight on here for now, and then we'll see if we can't do it. We got a proposed appointment for the council. Several of the council members have approached me about Mr. Robert C. Dennis. He's lived in Clarksville 33 years. He lives at 113 Willow Oak Drive. He's retired Corps of Engineer employee with 35 years with the Corps. He's a professional forester. He's held several jobs at the Corps, and he is here tonight to introduce himself. But he's married to Donna Dennis. A lot of you know Donna. They've been married for 40 years and have raised a son and daughter in our fine town of Clarksville. Their name is Adam and Rachel, and he is the proud grandfather of two grandchildren. So, Robert, did you have anything? And I'm gonna back out of here so he can have a full screen. All right. And Robert, did you want to stand up and just let them see you and introduce yourself?
Yes, because I want to. We've come to Clarksville in '87, and through all the different jobs and things I've held, we've had several opportunities through the decades to leave. And as you weigh it through the night, agonizing over whether to relocate to new jobs, we always came back to Clarksville's where we wanted to be. We've been a part of this community and I look forward to helping. I arrive with no agenda. I'm not here to solve something that I think's been done wrong or push something that I'd rather see. Want to become part of the team and help our town move forward.
Very good.
All right.
Okay.
Carolyn, can you hear us still?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. So she's there. So to move forward, we need a motion on the floor from
I
council.
make a motion to have Robert to join the town council.
I second.
Tammy, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, so we need a vote. Tara, back to you.
All right, Councilmember Pittard,
Yes.
Councilmember Warner,
Yes.
Councilmember Height,
Yes.
Councilmember Mulcahy,
Yes.
and Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
All right.
Congratulations, Robert.
Very good. They definitely look forward to working with you. Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
And Robert, we'll have to get you an oath of office, and then you'll be able to participate in the next meeting.
Very good. All right, we're going to move on, if that's okay with everybody. Richard, now I think we're up to you, sir.
All right, I don't have a whole lot to go on tonight, but a couple of small things I'll go over. We have been having an issue down at our old industrial park, the one down by old DRS building off back behind there. We've had a couple of issues with a inverter that would take 220 single phase and convert it into 3-phase service for our pumps. It started giving some troubles and it caused one of our pumps to give out. We sent it off, had it checked out, and they had to rebuild it. And then they came back and we actually had to order another drive. So that has been an ongoing situation. The pumps come back and we've had another issue with it. So it was pulled this week and sent back off. And somewhere along the way, when they sealed the pump up, they did not seal it tight and water got back inside. So of course, they're going to have to fix that at their expense. And that should hopefully come back next week and be ready to go. The variable drive, the inverter that we put in now seems to be working fine this time, but we really won't know until we put the other pump back in service to make sure it's going to pull and operate like it's supposed to. Leaf and brush. My guys have done an exceptional job this year. We've kept the leaf and brush pretty much caught up most of the time. I think there was a little bit at one time where there was a few people calling and was wondering when we're coming by, but most people were pretty satisfied with the results. We were running 2 trucks at a time, trying to keep them going, and they have succeeded and did a good job. Cemetery, we have gone through cemetery and vacuumed it and cut it again. We had it cleaned up for Christmas best we could. I think it looked pretty good, and I hope everybody else was pleased with that. I think it turned out good. And like I said, the guys really worked hard trying to get everything caught up. The only other thing I'm going to mention, and it's just a quick thing, Jeff and I talked about today. I took a class yesterday, and one of the things they were talking about is Virginia Warren. And that is Virginia. And Warren is W-A-R-N, which is actually a acronym for an emergency response team that if we become a member of in event of a natural disaster or a severe issue with our system, other towns and municipalities and water authorities may have some access to equipment that we might be able to use, borrow, rent, or parts and stuff. So it's a good thing for us to be a part of. And I'm going to get some more information for the next council meeting and have that to present at that time. But I just wanted y'all to, if you get a chance, go to the website and just type in VA Warren, W-A-R-N. And like I said, it's no obligation for the town to do anything other than being a member of it. But, you know, down the road, if somebody had something that gave it and we had an extra dump truck, we might loan them or rent them. You still have to pay for the equipment and stuff that you use, but it makes readily available for a lot of things that we may have to not have available at that particular time. If we had been a member, let's say, when our pumps came out on the bridge, we may have been able to go out and find somebody who had a generator that we could have got from them if we couldn't have rented one. So it's a good opportunity for the town to participate and be a part of a great organization that is there just to help when they can.
Is there a cost, Richard, to that for the town, or this is pretty much self-sustaining?
It
It's
is
an
no
agreement.
cost, no cost at
That's
all.
good.
Like I said, if we were to need a track hoe, and Richmond Water Authority has one, they would send it down here to us to use. Again, we would pay them rent for it just like we would anybody else, but it would be available to us to take on if, Bose didn't have one, or we couldn't get one because everybody else had them rented out. It's a good tool to have.
Okay.
I think that's about all I got right now. I think Jeff's got a couple things.
Yeah, I tell you what, Mr. Mayor, if you're okay, I'm gonna let Brent go on and do the police report. He's
Yes,
filling
sir.
in for Ricky tonight. And
Yep.
then I will jump back to sharing the screen and move on.
All right, sounds good.
I don't have, but a couple things, to mention about the body camera and tasers. I will say that, myself and Andy completed a 4-hour training online, for the body cameras. The taser training, still waiting on to hear something about that. I got a class that I'm looking to attend, in Christiansburg on the 19th of February, become a taser instructor. That class is actually cost $375, and it's good for 2 years, and I'll be able to instruct anywhere in the state of Virginia on the Taser 7s.
Oh, man.
I will say that the Taser 7s that we have now are the newest ones in the county. So nobody else in the county has the Taser 7s as of right now but us. So I'll be able to actually help, once certified, I'll be able to help the other agencies train their people on how to use them. Hopefully, our cell phones, everybody's got new cell phones, and we're working on downloading all the programs on those. And by February 1st, we should be up and running on the new camera system. The tasers will actually hold off until I can get the other guys certified on them. But we can start using the camera system, so they're not just sitting in a box at the office. So I'm working on getting that up and going as quick as I can.
The phones.
Yes, all the phones are working good. Everything we've downloaded for the camera system is completely, working well with the phones.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like I said, the phones can be used several different ways. Basically, if we run a call for breaking and entering, and we got evidence we got to collect, we can actually the app that we download, we can use our phone, and it goes straight to our evidence file folder on the internet. So we don't have to go back to the office and download pictures off of our phone to the computer. Actually, when we take them on this app, it goes straight to our evidence folder. So everything like that is working as well.
Excellent.
I haven't heard, I talked to Chief today and asked him about the complaints on the loud trucks again. I haven't heard any complaints, but maybe one or two from the same person over and over again. That I think that's a good thing. We've actually, it's really cut down in town at nighttime and during the daytime. I think with issuing tickets, and some of the ones that actually went to court has been told about, they get pulled over for now in March, that their license can't be pulled off the vehicle. So, because they've got 2 tickets already. So I think that's helped a lot as far as writing tickets for that.
With that,
As far as anything else, I don't know of anything else I have.
Anybody got anything else for Brent? I want to thank you, Brent, for for doing it tonight. Appreciate you filling in.
Yep, thanks, sir.
Kevin,
Yes,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yes.
I am still receiving calls about, a section of Shiny Rock that is when you turn off College and, you take that right off College, like going on to the larger part of Shiny Rock. It's just that strip in there between College Street and, 58. And the people that live there are just said this, that the speeding through there is horrible. They can't walk their dogs. They can't do anything because the cars just fly through there as a shortcut. And I don't know if it's anything that can be looked into, but I've been getting calls now ever since I went on the council almost every week about it from somebody off that road. Now, the reason I know a lot of people on that road is because I sold them houses. But
Yeah.
they, they don't know who else to reach out to, and they're really frustrated.
I'll pass that along. I actually run radar. Sorry. I actually run radar up there next to where, I believe the subdivision was gonna go on the right.
Yeah.
I sit right there and run radar most of the time because basically you can see both directions right there. That's really the only spot you can really get off the road, in a safe place to actually run a radar through that area. But it is 35 miles per hour through there. Because that is part of town limits, so it is 35 mile per hour zone through that road. And like I said, I'll pass on to the other guys and let them know as well. To be, watching out for the speeders coming through that area.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Anybody? Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Brent.
All righty, Jeff.
Bear with me here a second. I gotta.
Right.
Okay, water and sewer project. We've completed a pre-engineering report to do a water and sewer project upgrade. Of course, for the sewer plant, that was an upgrade of the sewer plant with the new filtration system. And then we were going to do some work at the Kennerton pump station, and we were also going to do some work at the water plant to put in a carbon system there at the water plant. Of course, that application has been submitted. This is, for a grant loan. That is still being reviewed by rural development. And, of course, that estimated cost for that project is roughly $3 million. We've been advised, by rural development and by our engineer that we really need to pull out the carbon room portion for this. And I'm going to explain why here in a second. And it's a good reason. But, as you know, we've had a sale of Commerce Park, and there's a big impending project to be executed on that in that business park over there. And we are forecasting water requirements that will increase substantially. And that is probably going to cast the need to be able to expand our capacity at our Clarksville water treatment plant. We're currently working with Southside Planning, and Mecklenburg County on working together on this expansion for this upcoming project. The first step, of course, is to go to rural development and ask for a search grant. That's what we used last time to do the PER for the sewer plant and the other items. And we will need to do that again so we can, develop a new pre-engineering report. We can determine what the project costs are and also do an environmental review. They'll also develop costs for the project. And then based off of that, we can develop funding plan. And the mission here is to develop this plan and have a shovel-ready project so that number one, we can go after some grant money, but two, we feel like there's possibly some stim the area that could be utilized through Virginia economic development. But the plan is for whatever it costs to do this, is this hopefully will not impact our current water and sewer users. Between grants and the group that will be doing the development at the park. Between those, it'll
Did we lose Jeff?
Looked
Yeah,
like,
he disappeared on us. Yeah, something died on his side. I don't know what's going on.
can you guys hear me now?
Hey, we got you back. We can hear you. We can't see you.
Hello?
Hello? We can hear him.
Yeah, we hear him, but that's about it. Hello, there you are.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Looking dishwasher.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, we dropped. I apologize. Yeah, we did some things after last meeting to and to get us a better wireless connection in here, and it's been working well until then. But yeah, let's get back to where we were at. All right. Okay. Can everybody see that now?
Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, of course, with the sale of the Commerce Park, we're seeing a forecasted major increase in water usage, and that will require an expansion of our water plant facility. And we're dealing with that by working with Southside, Town of Clarksville, Mecklenburg on this expansion. And the first step we'll do is go to rural development and ask for a search grant. Normally this grant is 100%. It's a 100% grant, and what that allow us to do is develop a new pre-engineering report for this expansion. It'll talk about project requirements. They'll do an environmental review. They'll develop project cost, and they will develop a funding plan. Based off of that, our goal, and I don't know how far we got before we dropped, but our goal here is that the way this is going to work between what we're hoping is to have a shovel-ready project so that We feel like there's some stimulus money that's going to be coming down that could be available to help fund this project, as well as other grants. But we're also, the group that's doing this development will help pick up the cost of this also. So we're hoping that this will not impact our current water and sewer users. And that's the mission there. Of course, to do a grant, the search grant, we have to do a request for proposal for, for a qualified engineering firm to do the PER, and they have to do that. It'll be put out to bid. We'll do the evaluation criteria and select a vendor, and then we'll bring that for the town council to award, to the group. And then with that award, they can begin the PR and start the work on becoming shovel ready for this project. Does anybody have any questions? I know that's a lot of information in a short period of time, but it's the beginning of some major upgrades to the plant. And, Richard, you got anything you want to add there?
No, sir. Other than I think it's a good opportunity for the plant to get some updated equipment that may be needed, as well as making sure we got the right process for the system for the upcoming user.
Yeah, and this will also put us in a position, we don't want to bring on a user and then we have virtually no extra capacity. So we want to be in a position so we can service this user, but also have some future capacity for, for future growth. This is a good way to get that, and hopefully rural development will give us this grant and we can move forward. But we'll keep you in the loop and keep you up to speed on what's happening. Of course, we did that already. Unfinished business, of course, the Planters Warehouse, the special use permit was approved, and the variance was granted by the Board of Zoning Appeals, which is allowing them to move forward with the bank closing for project funding. So they're in the middle of working on the bank closure for the loans for the funding of the project. They'll finalize the plans and they get the remaining permitting, and then we'll hopefully begin that project here in the near future. You'll keep you in the loop on that too. So we're excited about that moving forward, and it's much needed in the day. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
All right, small business recovery. I'm sorry. Small business recovery assistance. Currently, this, of course, I'm kind of making sure Robert gets a feel for this too. This is the small business recovery was developed, and it's money that was funded to the county, and they set up a fund to help small businesses that needed help from COVID impact. And that is being administered by Southside Planning on behalf of Mecklenburg County. And then we get applications, and there's a committee that reviews them and approves them. And currently we've received 39 applications countywide. We've reviewed and approved 31 applications. It's been $208,509 has been committed, and we still have $291,490 remaining for anybody that wishes to apply for it. Again, this is a 100% grant. Great opportunity for these small businesses, especially if they've had some COVID impact. We recently resent out emails to all of the local businesses, and we reposted it on the website. So I urge anybody, if you see them, and if have them call me, or we'll have them touch base with Sandy Cooper at Southside Planning too. So great opportunity.
Okay.
The CARES Act funding, of course, this is the stimulus money that we received. We've completed all of our purchases on this money. We've committed all of it, and we submitted for reimbursement from Mecklenburg County for the elements that we purchased. Waiting for that. We spent roughly about $208,000, and of course we were allocated about $205,000. We went over a little bit, but we made sure we used it. On December the 30th, we got a letter that they told us, and the feds had told us, and the county had told us that we needed to have that money obligated and spent by December 30th, 2020. So that's what we did. Then on December the 30th, they gave an extension. You could spend the money up to December 31st, 2022. So needless to say, nothing I could do about it now, but we would have had a different approach if we'd have had that much time, knowing we were going to have that much time. But, there's nothing we can do about that now. But did want to kind of let you know where we are. I think, Bruce asked this question at the last meeting. We submitted a smart scale application to VDOT for the funding for what VDOT had recommended was a roundabout at 15 and 58, which is on the other side of the business bridge. Of course, that application was reviewed and we made it to round 4, made it through round 3. And when we made it to round 4, the project was eliminated. It didn't score well enough to finish in the top echelon. So we're currently working with Southside Planning and VDOT and to review the scoring. Unfortunately, we did this application 2 years ago and we scored better that time than we did this time. So we're trying to understand, and we've got a few ideas of what the problem is, but we want to talk to VDOT and get a full explanation of what's happening and how we can better strengthen our application. But unfortunately, we're not in the running for the next round. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
And then, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
No, sir. We're good. Go ahead, bud.
Okay. All right. We currently coordinate with the Marina and the Health Department and the Corps Engineers on a revised plan for meeting the requirements for the Marina building. Of course, we need the Marina building. We need the bathrooms and the shower facilities to be able to meet the Health Department requirements for a marina with that many slips. And we're coordinating with there was an architect that developed the plans that I think most of you have seen, and we'll bring them to you at the next meeting. But and those revisions of that plan, they're repricing what it would take to modify those, because what's the plan that we developed back when it was back in, I guess, 2012 or something like that, the requirements for the number of bathrooms and the number of showers, it ended up they are not big enough, so they're having to change it to meet the new requirements. So that's what we're in the process of doing now. I know I've had some of the council approach me about maybe wanting to make some modifications to the design, so I think the thing to do is for us to get the facilities committee together, and we'll review these plans and make some suggestions and bring those back to the council of how to move ahead with the marina building. But would love to get these plans finished and let's move forward with a construction project to make this happen. The Chantel franchise renewal, of course, the franchise renewal was really up in October, end of October of last year. And between us and them, we just missed it. But we still can do the extension. But I've talked to Chantel today. We're working on I'm working on some other details about how they can help us with expansion of cable and internet into our annexed areas that were annexed back in 2014. And they're putting some numbers together for that, to expand that fiber area. I'm getting requests from some of our subdivisions, existing subdivisions that currently don't have it. And they're really jumping up and down wanting to get it in there because they've got people interested in buying these homes and they want to have some type of high-speed internet broadband connection. So we're working on trying to get a solution. Originally I was going to ask for approval to renew this, but I think we need to do a little bit more research, and then I'll come back to you guys in February and maybe ask Chantel to sit in on a Zoom meeting, and we'll review it and make some decisions at the next meeting.
Jeff, what other options
Yes,
do you
sir.
have besides them? Or do you have any options?
Well, well, that's one of the things we got to check on, because currently what they've got is they've got the cable franchise. And there's other options out there, and I want to look at those more in depth. I give you a better answer on that at the next meeting. And that's one of the things we're looking at. Hopefully they're going to come through, because they're the one that has the most infrastructure in place to be able to move forward with it. But it's not to say if they want to, and what the problem is a lot of times they want to move in the area, but they want these people to pay some of the cost, the setup costs, because if you go into a subdivision and you've only got 3 homes in it, and they can't get payback right away, or they can't get payback in the immediate future. So they're asking for sharing of those costs. And what I was hoping is to get those, to do that, and to get them to come in and then define how much this is going to be. And then we can go, they've got some high-speed internet, grants that you can go after. And you team up together with a private public partnership and go after that money to help make that happen. I think you probably read about some of that today with one of the other firms in the county that got a nice sized grant to pursue high-speed internet out in the rural areas of the county. So our problem is we've got some of that infrastructure in place, and some of that franchising is already established. Where out in the countries, out in the other areas, it's not as defined. So a good question, Danny. We need to do more research to see what our options are. Any other questions on the Chantel? All right. Now I sent you a note. The town staff and council are considered essential workers due to the continuity of the government. So the staff and council has been advised, and I've got a list of the people desiring vaccinations, and that has been submitted to the health department. You will here in the near future receive a questionnaire to fill out from an email. Then based off of that, then you'll get a request to set up an appointment, and then they will advise you of those, of when you can come in or if any changes. Now, I did listen to the governor's presentation today, and of course they're revising protocols. They're trying to streamline it and get more shots to the individuals through various mechanisms. And once I get that, I'll share that with you. But they're really trying to get it out and get it out quick. And so he also reviewed the executive order. He is extending, he was, the limit on groups of 10 or less in private and public meetings we're going to expire at the end of this month. Now he is moved to push that to the end of February. So we'll still be, at the end of February, we'll still be Zooming in February. So that's kind of, and once I get those executive orders, I'll share those with you guys also. And that's kind of, Mr. Mayor, that's all I've got, unless you guys have something for me.
I'm good. Anything from council? Anyone? I just want to say real quick, thank Robert for volunteering to serve on council. We look forward to working with him. And just a note that I'll be looking at, usually when we have a new appointment, I'll review committee assignments and go over those. So we'll probably take a look at those by the next meeting as well. So that's all I have. Jeff, you going into closed session tonight? Jeff, hello.
He froze up. He locked up again.
We done lost Jeff again. I'd close the meeting, but
I
I'm
can
not.
see you. Can you see me?
Hey, we got you back. Yes, sir.
Lord.
It's bad when you lose a host, huh?
Yeah, that's not good.
I think we need to invest in moving that, hard cable down there the way you hook directly up.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
He's moving.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jeff.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I asked that we move to adjourn, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Thanks, everyone. Everybody have a good night.
Be safe.
Y'all
You
too.
too. Everyone
Meeting
take care.
adjourned.
Can you hear me? I tell you what, Kevin,
Good night, y'all.
I'm gonna take the initiative and we're done, okay?
Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
yeah, I agree.